A letter to Donald Trump and the Joint Chiefs, the 19th of October 2019, by Anna von Reitz. Dear President Trump and Joint Chiefs. My Uncle Henry was a great guy, but he liked to stir the pot. He would ask us kids questions like, what weighs more, a pound of feathers or a pound of lead? A pound is a pound is a pound. Yet today, we have an entire world economic scheme built on a Ponzi scheme that doesn't recognize that fact. The direction that the central banks have taken is now very clear. They mean to bankrupt the entire world and everyone in it via hyperinflation. Think of it as the Great Depression multiplied by 1,000,000. Even as we speak, they are counterfeiting the USD, and their brokers are buying, selling, and trading upon assets that don't belong to them, to secure this disastrous end result. Yet somehow you all think that allowing this to go on is better than arresting these same bankers, putting other people in charge, and returning the actual assets to the people to whom they belong. President Trump, you have worked very hard and with great zeal and skill to bulwark the American economy and keep the boat afloat, but you have been undermined every step of the way by criminals. Those same criminals are now setting themselves up to block everyone's access to assets that were deposited with these banks in good faith. Their object is simple theft. They mean to pay their own debts with assets that in fact belong to others, using fake default robot IDs as recipients, similar to the way they have used undisclosed escrows and the pretense of abandoned funds to rob generations of victims. We've been told outright that they have blocked our names and the assets owed to the United States of America and to Americans in general. And they won't willingly honor our demand to return our deposits. They won't even give credit receipts or statement reports to the actual depositors of factual assets. I repeat, they are proven criminals. Well, here's our demand, and let it sink in. We are here, in public, in front of everyone. We are not missing, not absent, not to be presumed dead. We are demanding that our assets be accounted for and made accessible to us, not to some foreign paper straw man or electronic representation of us. It isn't our intention or desire to make any big moves of actual deposits or cause any undue disruption. There's actually no need for that, despite all the damage these thieves have done, but we do mean to put a stop to these banker games, and it is long overdue. We want the ringleaders in jail, and we want anyone caught aiding and abetting this monstrous fraud against us in jail, where they belong. They have been acting as brokers and as executors de son tort, buying, selling, and trading assets that don't belong to them, impersonating us, making false claims in commerce, operating under color of law, and defrauding generations of people here and around the world. The actual power holders and beneficiaries have returned, though they never actually went anywhere. With respect to the United States of America, there is no doubt where your duty lies, and also your own self-interest. These cretins have planned things out to make sure there is an economic meltdown by Election Day, Mr. Trump, and you fellows manning the Joint Chiefs positions? They have made plans to do away with the U.S. military, sever all military pensions, and use America as a resource dump. It is well past time for the banks to be taken over and placed under well-scrutinized management worldwide. There is no more pressing task at hand, unless you count returning our land assets, including our patents, to our direct freehold ownership, then securing all the deposits and assets owed to Americans and the United States of America, and returning them to us. The days of any military protectorate are numbered. That's the way it is, and in view of the present situation, the way it has to be. Administration by a civilian government run by fiduciary deputies won't be as colorful, but it will be far more sane and honest. Now, gentlemen, you can do what you are actually paid to do, and you can save your own respective skins at the ballot box and when it comes to retirement, or you can sit there and stare at us like steers in a rainstorm. The United States of America is the power holder. The people of this country have suffered gross mistreatment and identity theft. We have vast amounts of actual assets that have been stolen under false pretenses. If you want to keep your contracts, nail the criminals to the wall and return our assets. Give the bankers and members of the U.S. Congress a deal they can't refuse, just like the unconscionable contract they tried to foist off on American babies in their cradles, just like all those intestate infantecedent estates they created, just like all the phony court proceedings, just like all the thefts disguised as tax sales, just like all the trespasses on our private property at all levels for the past 150 years. These people haven't represented us. We don't even know them. And we are here to claim back what is ours. You are all employed by us under the terms of the actual constitutions and obligated to protect our persons and property, individually and in sum total. It's high time you did so.